I'm Sophia Caceres, and in my last video, I'm going to be talking about the year 1969. The first major event that happened was Apollo 11. Apollo 11 was a historic space mission that launched on July 16th and landed on the moon on July 20th, marking the first time humans set foot on another celestial body. The mission's primary goal was to fulfill President John F. Kennedy's ambition of landing a man on the moon before the end of the 1960s. The Apollo 11 crew included Neil Armstrong as the commander, Buzz Aldrin as the lunar module pilot, and Michael Collins as the command module pilot. The mission launched from Cape Kennedy in Florida and landed on the Sea of Tranquility. Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon, famously uttering, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The crew was on an 8-day trip to the moon and safely came back home. The Jungle Book animated film was released in 1969 and was directed by Wolfgang Reitherman. This film was also produced by Walt Disney, who sadly died during its production. The movie was based on Rudyard Kipling's short stories. It tells the story of Mowgli, a boy raised by wolves in the Indian jungle who must eventually leave to the Mad Village to escape the threat of the tiger Shere Khan. The trailer shows some of Mowgli's adventures, such as meeting with the dangerous snake, the king of apes, elephants, vultures, and the tiger. But Mowgli has two protectors, Bagheera a panther and Baloo a bear. The most famous scene in Disney's The Jungle Book is Baloo's song, The Bare Necessities. This scene features Baloo teaching Mowgli about the law of the jungle. There are 4 adaptations of this classic movie: 1969, Disney's animated classic; 1994, Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book; 2016, a live-action CGI adaptation. Now, the Cambodian Civil War during 1969. The war had begun because of the fact that Cambodia had just become an independent nation and was grappling with issues of political representation, economic development, and social injustice. Cambodia was also vulnerable to outside pressures, particularly the Vietnam War. The Cambodian Civil War evolved from small-scale peasant uprisings to full-blown insurgency led by the Khmer Rouge against the Kingdom of Cambodia and Khmer Republic. The war created a massive refugee crisis and caused widespread destruction and displacement within Cambodia. The death toll of the war was estimated to be around 275,000 to 310,000 range. The Khmer Rouge eventually successfully succeeded in winning this civil war. One of the most popular board games released in 1969 was Ants in the Pants. The toy game Ants in the Pants was originally released by Shaper Toys, but would eventually be sold to Hasbro. This game is 4 players. It contains 16 ants in 4 different colors. Players race to get all their ants into a pair of oversized pants. Players use their fingers to press down on the ants' tails, causing them to spring into the air with the goal of getting them into the pants. The first player to get all 4 of their color-coded ants inside wins. The game, produced in 1969 by Shaper Toys before being sold to Hasbro, was priced at $1, which in current time is about $9. Now, the Woodstock Music and Art Fair, or simply Woodstock, was a massive music festival that was held from August 15th to 17th, 1969 in Bethel, New York. Many people consider this festival to be a pivotal moment in music history and a defining symbol of the pop culture of the 1960s. The festival attracted an estimated 400,000 attendees and featured 32 musical acts. Each day featured a diverse lineup of acts spanning genres like rock, folk, blues, and even some classical. On the 15th, they had 9 performers. A couple of them were Richie Havens, Streetwater, and Tim Hardin. On the 16th, there was 14 performers. Some of them were Santana, Canned Heat, and the Incredible String Band. Lastly, on the 17th, they had 10 performers. Some were Johnny Winter, Blood, Sweat and Tears, and Joe Cocker and the Grease Band. Some might compare Woodstock Music Festival to the modern-day Coachella. One of the popular shows during the year 1969 was Sesame Street, created by Joan Gans Cooney and Lloyd Morrisett. Their initial idea stemmed from the civil rights movement. They would make a show that was educational yet still entertaining. They aimed to use television to address the educational needs and societal changes faced by Black children, particularly those in urban areas. By using television to help prepare disadvantaged children for school, they could begin learning. The first ever episode was entitled Gordon Introduces Sally to Sesame Street and was aired on November 10th, 1969. Since then, generations of children have grown up learning from and with iconic Sesame Street characters like Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Grover, and Count Von Count. Sesame Street was also modeled after the real-life streets of Harlem. The creators really sought to capture the essence of urban life for Black children. Here are some of the most popular songs during the year 1969, starting off with rock. Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones, Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin, and Come Together by the Beatles. Now pop. Abbey Road by the Beatles, Build Me Up Buttercup by the Foundations, Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Lastly, country. A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash, Hungry Eyes by Merle Haggard, and Statue of a Fool by Jack Green. 1969 was a year the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Johnny Cash all had hits. It was also the year of Woodstock. Radio listeners heard funk, psychedelia, rock, Motown, and the first sounds of punk. Thus, the year 1969. Thank you so much for watching all of my videos about the 60s, and I hope that you enjoyed learning about everything, and you learned a thing or two about the 60s and are thinking that the 60s are the best decade. So thank you so much. Bye.